So why is Rubio really coming to Jamaica? You want to know why?
Tell me.
The Americans want it stopped. And let me tell you why. Because in every country,
Bless up, baby, our family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's a girl, Isabel Rose. And in this one, Head Boy drops the real reason why Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State, made his presence in Jamaica. As well as the People's National Party slams the current Minister of Tourism on false statements of Emirates flights in Jamaica starting April. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Notification shout out goes to Anthony R. Big up yourself, Anthony, as well as Peace Giver. Big up yourself, Peace Giver, and big up to each and every one who supports this channel. So various articles across Jamaica was basically letting us know that the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio would have made his presence in Jamaica and other parts of the Caribbean. And we were left in the dark, basically, of not knowing the real reason why he was making those visits to the Caribbean, including our island, Jamaica. And Head Boy, big up yourself, Head Boy, every day, every time, drops the real reason that Marco Rubio came to Jamaica.
Why is Marco Rubio coming to Jamaica?
Oh.
Well, let me tell your listeners, because I pointed it out last night with Isaac and Andre over his program, right? We had a meeting here in the OECS in Eastern Caribbean, and I'm very close to the Minister of Foreign Affairs here, right? They had a meeting in Barbados with Marco Rubio, which, by the way, was hush-hush. Yeah? The OECS made their position clear to him that there are none of them going to send back home them doctor, including Anguilla, who is actually a British territory. Yeah? When they made their position, and CARICOM adopted a position last week and sent that position paper to Rubio. So the Cuban doctor issue, no matter how Andrew is jumping and skipping and hopping, there's a standard position across CARICOM that his Foreign Affairs Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, told him at the CARICOM meeting last week that they are going to follow the same position.
In his 4-hour-long speech on Thursday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness did not address the issue, which public commentator Jermaine Barrett believes is critical in this time.
We did not get a strong and a defiant position from the Prime Minister. I think the Prime Minister, of course, is a bit of a strategist, is a pragmatist, and he's trying to work this thing through to Jamaica's benefit.
The government's position came on Thursday, but not from Prime Minister Holness. Instead, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith.
Our structured process of review and engagement is progressing well, and we remain confident in the integrity of this program. We continue to engage diplomatically, including discussions which I held with the Cuban foreign minister, the current head of the U.S. Embassy, with whom both Minister Tufton and I and our teams met. And of course, as between CARICOM foreign ministers, as you would be aware, we have had discussions. We've exchanged perspectives, and we are seeking to ensure the best understanding and outcomes of this matter.
In a statement, Senator Johnson-Smith said a review of the program was initiated well before international scrutiny started. She insists improvements will be made to its administration.
Given that the MOU had expired last year, the government of Jamaica had already begun a review process even before any international concerns were raised. So while we have identified a few areas for alignment with our own overseas labor programs and how they are administered, we are confident that the Cuban program is a legitimate bilateral cooperation program, not an example of trafficking.
Jamaica's medical cooperation program with Cuba has been in place since 1976 and has operated under a memorandum of understanding upheld by successive administrations. More than 400 Cuban nurses and doctors are working on the island.
So why is Rubio really coming to Jamaica? You want to know why?
Tell me.
It is a program called the Belt and Road Initiative.
The
from
Belt
China.
and Road. Oh, The America want to stop it.
The Americans want it stopped. And let me tell you why. Because in every country that the Chinese have been doing this Belt and Road Initiative, there is widespread corruption, right? And the Americans are seeing the transfer of funds from government, from contractors, meaning China Harbour Engineering Company and other contractors.
To government?
Right? To government, to entities, to people who are working in the government. Let me tell you the smoking gun. Let me tell you the smoking gun that the Americans have on the cabinet of Jamaica.
Talk to me.
Every transfer that comes into USD requires an American correspondent bank.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So if you are doing business with any, once you are doing business in the Caribbean, there is no bank that brings in money in USD except Citibank or Bank of America. They are in charge of bringing in USD.
So those are two American banks.
Two American banks. It means that the Americans have the ability to see what you're moving.
Yes.
Yeah? And to see what you're, because they can, like we had an issue in the Eastern Caribbean where one of the governments was involved in the Citizenship by Investment program. Individual accused them of thieving. Waiting come. The man go to Washington and subpoena the accounts of them. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan had to hand over the account information to the State Department, and them then in turn give it to his attorneys.
So you are
these
saying,
guys banking.
So you are saying Marco Rubio coming to Jamaica has nothing to do with the Cuban doctors?
It has nothing to do with it because the position of CARICOM has been clear. We are not moving.
Because and then remember that Mayor Motley also invited Donald Trump and Rubio to the Caribbean.
Yeah, so it is clear they're not moving.
Right, and she made her statement. The ex-prime minister of Trinidad made his statement, and Dr. Ralph Gonzalez made his statement right here in Port Antonio.
But let me tell you why Rubio doesn't need to come to Jamaica to tell the government about the Cuban matter. The Americans, the State Department is requesting information. Ralph Gonzalez, 2 days ago, sent over all the information he had on the Cuban doctors, meaning how they were being paid, who was receiving their payments, so it could be showed. The same thing could be done in Jamaica. So show that it's not human trafficking.
Right,
so
and it's not forced labor.
It's not forced labor. Why then would he need to come to Jamaica to get information like that? So let us use our heads. Let me tell you now, since let me tell the people of Portland, your road is one of those roads that had, on the road to St. Thomas, that had one of the most corrupt practices in terms of contractual arrangements.
You mean the road from Harborview to Port Antonio?
Yes, the road to Harborview to Port Antonio. The most corrupt contractual practices. By the way, what
about the Sparks program? Because
the Spark
is also
corrupt.
One of my information is that when that Spark contract was signed, millions were turned over. Now, say no more than that.
But let me give you the Spark.
Not millions. But talk about billions. Hold on, it's not
billions.
Billions.
But let me show you how nasty and corrupt.
Billions in kickback.
And this is why Rubio is coming. Let me show you why. They just signed an agreement 2 months ago in Bridgetown, right? So the American government is saying to the OECS members.
Who signed that contract in Bridgetown?
The OECS, St. Kitts Nevis, Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica.
With
the Exim Bank.
With Chinese Exim Bank.
No.
Which one are the Exim Bank?
The American Exim Bank.
Okay.
They have an Exim Bank, right? You know why? Because the Americans are saying, we are seeing so much money leaving the Caribbean going to China. We want some of the action. So what are the priority programs of your countries?
Yeah.
Let us give you the same funding that China is giving you.
At the same interest rate?
At the same interest rate. They gave a proposal. They said, okay, St. Kitts Nevis said to them, well, we are looking at $1 billion to invest in our economy, to spend on various things. The Americans said, no problem, we'll provide you with this, but these are the areas that it must be spent in, and we'll give it at low interest rate. So what is coming to Jamaica to tell Jamaica is, look here, you need to get on board,
We will,
need to throw away the
we will finance some of those. Because
Yeah,
remember, Obama was warning us about it, you know. You remember when Obama came to Jamaica, he said something about Chinese investments.
and that's why he gave us the preferential option for purchasing LNG from the United States. Huh? But let me remind people, governments in America change, administrations change, but policies don't change.
Yeah.
Huh? Let me remind people, policies don't change.
Trump changing some policies now, doing it, though.
Yeah, but when I say policy, in the sense that their policy in this part of the world is still stand.
So when you hear the US declares Jamaica their most like-minded partners, we don't be surprised about that. So should we take it that the Chinese will be heading back to China? No more business with them and Jamaica? Anyways, moving right along, we see in the People's National Party Shadow Minister on Tourism, JANICE Allen, rubbishing the lies from EDMUND Bartlett, the Minister of Tourism, lying to our nation, telling us that the Emirates are set to begin flights between Dubai and Jamaica in April. He even stand up and take all pictures, and this was posted in an article via the Gleaner. And so Johnny is basically rubbishing that lie.
I want to take a moment to set the record straight on an announcement made yesterday by the Minister of Tourism. The minister claimed that Emirates will begin flights to Jamaica. But let me be clear, this is simply not true. What actually happened is that Condor, a German airline, announced a new route to Jamaica. Now Condor, no stranger to Jamaica, does have a strategic alliance with Emirates. But that does not mean Emirates is flying here. To suggest otherwise is misleading and disingenuous. Jamaica's tourism industry is too important for false claims and political spin. Our tourism workers, businesses, and stakeholders deserve honesty about airlift and investment. The minister must come clean and correct the record. Jamaica is a world-class destination, and we must protect our credibility on the global stage. We need real direct flights, not misleading headlines. It's time for transparency in how we communicate tourism developments. Jamaicans deserve the truth. Thank you.
So when me tell you, say they're coming with lies upon lies, wanna see it for yourself in and out of our parliament, lies upon lies via this government. But the ultimate decision is left up to UNO. Y'all must know what y'all voting for. Nevertheless, go ahead, drop in the comments in the comment section, tell me what you think about all that was unfolded in this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel on the road to 30K and beyond. Help me to get there. Get this video to at least 3,000 likes. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.